Today on RC Guy Garage, the basics, we're going to be working on the HYPER TT from HoBao. If you had seen my previous video of that actual vehicle on its debut, we did a what's in the box and then we took it out for a bash, and with my poor driving, I ended up breaking it on its first run. Is what it is, man. You can see totally why this thing broke. We have the parts. Let's just jump into it. You see right there, we did have some maybe minor destruction. We actually broke the A arm. It was a very poor landing on my part. I actually just left a clip for you to see the actual impact and why this broke, which was totally 100% my fault. And what we did break was we actually broke just only the A arm, which, you know, is great because buying a new one only cost about $6. So you can see the part number right there, 11224, and that is the HYPER Mini ST rear low arm, which is also for the HYPER TT as well. And it does come with a left and a right. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install it on this HYPER TT. It's actually very easy to do. And like I said, this is just part of that, the basic series. So let's just break into it. So for this repair, the only thing you're going to need is a 2mm Allen wrench. Probably actually going to end up using a driver, but this is just showing you the actual visible 2mm, which kind of really can't see it on this thing. So we need to obviously access the inside of the vehicle. And we're going to leave this suspension piece all together because what we're going to do is we're going to transfer parts from this to the actual new arm. So I'll flip the vehicle over. We need to remove the two back screws that are actually right here. That's what actually holds in this back bumper piece, and then obviously allows you to access the screws to take off this rear hinge pin or brace. So two screws right here on the back of the chassis. Which allows you to remove this little bumper piece right here. Good time to go ahead and clean things as well. You've got two screws that are actually on the back of the chassis right here. We'll go ahead and remove those. See what they do all the time. Anytime there's a body out. The other one's over there. He's actually inside the body. Look. This is just what they do. And he's like stuck on it. I'm just going to leave him. So now we took those two screws out. Now I can just very carefully just pull the little hinge pin brace off. There are parts to actually kind of lose on this. Because this is broken, it's obviously going to make it a lot easier to kind of pull that piece off. So you can see we've got to transfer that little screw that's right there, which is a suspension droop limiter. And then there's like a little, I guess you want to call that a shim on that back side. So just want to make sure that we don't lose these parts. So I'm going to take out that little piece right there, which is just like a set screw. But like I said, it's a suspension droop limiter. You'll see it's just a large set screw. See? So now is when we want to open up a little baggie here. We also want to match up which arm we actually lost or broke, which it looks like it's this one right here. Now, I don't see any printing on it that says that this is left or right, but all you have to do is just obviously match up the arm, and then you're good to go. So first thing we'll do is we'll install that droop limiter I guess you want to call that. You can obviously adjust this after the fact for whatever travel or limit your droop on the vehicle after the fact. 7mm box to access the wheel bolt or nut. Pull your wheel off. So now what we'll do is we'll take out the lower hub pin, which is this piece right here, which is a 2mm, and that side right there is a 5.5 box. So put a 5.5 box on there, and then use a 2mm to pull this screw right out. Let's reinstall your lower pin. Put your nylock back on. And this is when I would recommend using just a common hand tool just to tighten things so that you don't over torque items. Because you can see right now, or actually you can't see, but right now it is actually slightly over torqued. So I'm just going to back it off just a bit. Just till we get some free movement. Now we've got free movement. We also want to check the play to see if there's any play. There is a very slight amount of rock, which is fine, but you just want to be able to have that free motion. So now lining this up between these two parts right here, we want to go ahead and remove the sway bar end link, which is a 2mm. Remove that link. Reinstall it into the new arm. Nice and free. Now we're going to remove the rear shock. You can see it's actually positioned into the middle hole on this particular one. We're going to retain that. Remember, don't use Arnold Schwarzenegger strength on these things because these are just plastic pieces. I'm actually going to attach the sway bar end link to the actual sway bar. It can be easier if you actually have the tool to do it. Now we can take our pin out, install our pin into the arm, make sure our little shim is there, slide it into position, make sure it's bottomed out. Don't forget about that little shim that was on there. Reinstall the little shim or spacer. Now these had really long screws. So I'm going to drive those in. Now we can take our little bumper piece, slide that into place. And that had the 2mm tapered head screws right there. Now we're going to flip the vehicle over. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put in the dog bone. So we'll slide the dog bone in. Attach the rear shock. Again, if you have that tool, definitely makes it easier. Take our toe link, which I can see that, all right, so I don't know if it happened during a crash or whatever, but this is that thing where the angle of the toe link, I actually don't like the angle of the toe link. So right now is when I'm going to actually change it. So there's more motion. If you got the tool, definitely makes it easier. And there it is. That's how easy it is on the HoBao HYPER TT. It only cost about $6. And you get a pack of two. Obviously one for right, one for left. So now we'll put the wheel back on. With our wheel nut and the 7mm box. And there you go. HYPER TT from HoBao is fixed again. Now we just got to grab the body from these guys. I don't know what is up with these guys, but they absolutely love driving these bodies around. So if you like videos like this from RC Guy Garage, this is actually just called The Basics. It's just showing you how easy it is to actually repair your RC vehicle. And technically, if you break it down into small little parts, it's all just basic. So the only last thing that we'll do is we'll set up the droop just to make sure it matches the other side. And then it's ready to rip. We're going to charge up a battery, and we're going to take this thing for a ride. So thanks for watching this episode from RC Guy Garage. And you know what to do. If you like the channel, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share it. I don't know. If you want to give me a thumbs down, just go right ahead. Thanks for watching this episode from RC Guy Garage. I'm out. You only have one life to live. You might as well enjoy it.